Hey everyone, my name is Nick. Welcome back. And I am going to be walking over how to create your own 10K challenge spreadsheet using Google Sheets. Um, I love using Google Sheets. I use it for almost any and everything. It's definitely my go to when creating savings plans, creating tables, creating other type of things that I need for my work or personal life. It's just so user friendly, it's so flexible, and it's very compatible with a lot of other types of platforms, and it's simple and easy to use. So I thought it'd be cool to get on here and do a video of how I created this 10K challenge, savings plan worksheet. um, we're going to go over how I created the tables and then how I created the charts. And it has a summary tab right here, as well as a monthly breakdown tab that, just kind of zoom out a little bit, that has all the different months that I'm going to be using for my monthly investments and then the days right here. And as you can see in July, I've already added $1,000 last couple days or so, just to make sure I'm able to start the monthly challenge last month and going into month two now. But let's go ahead and get started with a blank Google Sheet. I'm going to call this 10K savings challenge, right? And then I'm also going to add a header that's the same thing, 10K savings challenge. Also, apologies for my audio if you hear a bit of the typing. I'm working on getting a better setup. Hopefully, it does not detract from the message in this sheet, or message in this video. Definitely gonna be working on getting a better setup soon, but we'll keep going for now. So we can go ahead and just bold that, and we're gonna go ahead and get started putting in our goals as well. So our goals is $10,000, right? That's our goal. We're also going to have $1,000. That's monthly. And then I put for 10 months. And I usually like to kind of set out my goals right here, right next to my header, just to really bring the focal point to what I am looking to achieve. So it's very clear, it's very bold. I'll add all the fonts, sizing and all that in a bit. And then right under, not too far under, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the actual initial table that I showed you all. So the way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to have my dates. So I'm going to have July 2024, August 2024, and just going to kind of roll these down a bit and just kind of do a cheat code where I just change the month. Each month, September, October, November, excuse me. It's going to be a raw unedited version, y'all, so you're going to see all the bloopers and everything. December, and then we're going to go ahead and restart with January 2025. And it's an easier hack here is to go ahead and bring that down, and then we can just change, instead of having to change the month and year for each, we can just change the month. There are probably other tips and tricks to this. This is the way that works the most efficiently for me. If there's other ways that you all kind of bring this down and do this, drop it in the chat. So we have our dates right here. We can go ahead and title this date, right? And then we're going to have another, just going to move this down a little bit. Another one that's going to have our goal, right? And our goal monthly is $1,000. So we can go ahead and put that $1,000, drag it down. We're going to be doing our investment. So this is going to be like our investment to date. And as I shared before, I had $1,000 that I invested in July of 2024. So that is going to be placed right there. And then we're also, because we're using Wealthfront, we're going to also be gaining interest. So the interest that I had on there, if I remember correctly, I think it was $3.72. Okay, interest and interest percentage. So we have interest and interest percentage. So 372. And cool thing about Google Sheets is if I highlight all this, right, this is kind of like my table for now, and I go to format, Google Sheets has recently added this convert to table option where you can convert your information, right, to a table format, and it looks really nice. You can kind of see there's custom views you can create, you can personalize your tables. I think I called mine, what did I call it? Monthly breakdown, right? So we can just call it monthly breakdown. And then we have our interest right here. So I need to do, I'm going to write a formula to break this down to a percentage. So if I do, I believe I had it in here, right? Yeah. So if you do D6, right, column D6, cell D6 divided by cell C6, that'll give us our interest, right? So we just broke that down a bit. Maybe I can zoom in here a little bit too, just so, because we're working on this section a bit. Yeah. So now I can kind of start to format a little bit more. I can merge these cells. I can change the size, right? Maybe I want to change the color. Let's see if they have any cool colors on here. So overwhelming, so many colors. I might just do the sky blue that I did before, y'all. It might just be the easiest thing or a version of it. I love green too, though, so maybe we'll do a green. It's not bad. So then we'll go to text. We'll change our, kind of have our themes together. You can use, if you want to change the color to match your other colors, if you go to the box, right, your color wheel, and then click this pick a custom color, it allows you to hover over and then change the color as you wish. So that's how I was able to change that up there. We can also change the font of these as well. Can't remember quite what I had these on. I think I had these on 18 point font. So that's 18 point font. And I'm going to change again. I'm going to go to text and then just, I think the color's right here already. Bold. I think I put these on, had these on 12, I believe, 12 point font. Now we can go ahead and use one of the formats up here to format this as a currency. You can also format these as a currency as well, which means we need to widen this section a little bit. I actually might want to move this over a bit. There we go. That looks a little better to me. We can also format our interest. So that will be a percent, right? Okay, if we want, we can also bold this. I believe I did. Command B if you're on Mac. I didn't bold that one, but we'll go ahead and do it for this one. And here is our table. Our table with our goal set out and our title. Now what we're going to do is convert this into a chart. And charts are super useful in Google Sheets. If you highlight the header of your table along with the associated data, you go to insert, and they have a ton of things you can insert. We're going to go to chart right here. And you see they already kind of populate a chart for us based off of what they believe we might want in this chart. So it's not a bad looking chart, but it's definitely not the chart that is going to suit our needs. It also opens up the chart editor here. If you ever want to go to the chart editor, you can go ahead and push the 3 dots right next to your chart and then click edit chart. So for the type of chart we want to create, we want to create a stacked bar chart. And a stacked bar chart is going to contain our investment and our interest, right? We want to have one part of that stacked bar chart show the investment, and the other part of that stack bar chart show the interest. And I noticed an update that I need to make to this immediately, right? The first one is we're going to go ahead and click the 100%, the stacked column chart, right? That's going to first give us that stack nature versus splitting out each of these. I'm going to also need to adjust the data range to include the interest. So if you see the interest is in column D, I'm going to have to change this from A5 to C18 to D18. And for our x-axis is going to hold all of our dates. So I'm going to move under x-axis, I'm going to go ahead and click the date column or date option. See all our dates are out and displayed. And then for the series, which is usually what's aggregated on the y-axis, I'm going to remove date. And I'm going to also remove goal because we don't necessarily want to keep track of our goal on this chart. And I'm going to add in our interest. So already it's looking a lot better. I'm going to make this a little larger so you can kind of see what's going on. So you can see we have our investment and then tiny bit, right? $3 out of 1,000. It's hard to see, but then we have our interest right here. I like to adjust the color a bit just so that we can really get a glance of that interest a bit more. So, perhaps using like a lighter green color for the investment. And then I like to use the like really bright green for my line color because it kind of helps it pop out a bit. But it's ultimately up to you what you may want to use. I think for here I had like a blue with that green, which also looks really nice. But as you can see, we have our investment and our interest lines, our stack bar chart already kind of forming. So I'm going to also with this add some data labels. So that way we can actually have the number pop up right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to bold that. I actually want a darker color now that I'm looking at this. Change the font size. Let's give it a 16. And then we're going to click on our data label right here, right? Text color, we want that to be that bright green. Font size, we also want that to be 16, and we want that bolded as well. Right, so now we can kind of get a glance of our investment and interest. And I actually might move this to be inside. No, that doesn't actually look all that good. What do we have it on here? Okay, we have it over there. So let's just keep it right there. I can actually change this to be that color too. I feel like that looks good. Okay. So we have our investment. Now we need to change our color for our interest as well up here so that we can have those match. But let's change the font size to be, move this over here a bit. Font size to be 16 looks nice. It's nice. And then we're going to change our series. So we're going to change this color to be, the interest to be this bright green, right? Because that's, right, the interest color, so it matches. And I want to add data labels for all of these. All of the labels should be coming up, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. So let me see what I need. Okay, that's cool for now. All right, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and add a title, chart title, which is 10K savings challenge, right? I'm gonna bold that, center that, maybe make it a, I think there's like some more options down here. Excuse me, y'all. Font size 30, that back. And then we're gonna change the color of this to that green color that we've been using for everything. All right, so we have our chart created. It's looking good. It's looking very similar. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, that looks nice. Now we're going to do our progress to goal chart. So right underneath, we're going to have our goal. And then we're going to use PTG for progress to goal. And then again, interest. So we can just sum up all these to do our goal. So our goal equals the sum of all of these. Excuse me. There we go. 10,000. Our progress to goal is going to be our sum of that. Usually if we just can slide this over, that's column C. So we have column C, and then our interest is going to be column D. So we can just slide this over and it should give us our total for interest, right? And then again, we can use that feature where we format and convert to table to create a table from this. Go ahead. I like a lot of spacing. It's probably because I write in a lot of Python. So I like to have nice spaces. So we're going to change our customizable color right here and use a dropper again to find that color. Boom, just like that. So we have the color that we want. Is this the right same color? Yeah, the same color. And then we're going to turn this into, right, this is going to be PTG, progress to goal. Okay, so when you're creating a table, you can only use, they don't allow spaces. I don't know why not, but they don't allow spaces for that. And for our progress to goal, we're going to go ahead and insert a new chart, right? And we're going to move this chart over a little bit. So it's right next to our OCD. Got to let this line up with this line right here. And then we're going to bring this down a bit so that they're both the same height. This one's going to be a single stack bar chart. And again, we're going to adjust the data range a bit. So the x-axis, did I have everything? 21? Okay, cool. And then the series, why is this looking like this? A21 to C21. Okay, because they have the x-axis with all, I don't know why they have that like that. So I see. What we might need to do is adjust. Let me see how this one's formatted real quick, y'all. A23 to C24. And see, it captured, it's not capturing this in the series the same way. Let me try to re-add this chart and see if it'll do it. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of sometimes Google Sheets can be a little funky, but we're gonna keep rolling with it. So what I ended up having to do was put in each individual cell that I wanted to use. And while the names are not popping up explicitly, I know that I want the PTG, the progress to go, to show up. So I'll do B21 right there. I can even probably just change this right here. To progress to go if I want it. Okay, actually I don't want anything down here. Let me go ahead and delete this. Oops. Gonna remove this completely. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna customize our title with progress to goal. We're gonna have our font size again, font size 30. I'm gonna go ahead and hold that and then make it that same green color we've been using. Center that. And then instead of because right now the series is feeding in A22 as for the y-axis when we really want it to feed in B22. We want it to feed in the progress to goal. So we're gonna change that chart from A22 to B22. And then we're gonna change the actual length that the chart is measuring. There's an option, we're going to change that to 10,000, right? So that's going to give us the correct ratio of where we're at. Now here we can add our data labels, and I like to kind of have a pretty large font size. I believe over here we can do up to 24 if we want. Yeah. Put that as bold. Make sure this is stacked. Okay. And then we're going to add our interest as well, which is C22. So we're going to add that to the chart too. C22. And then we're going to go to, sometimes you can kind of catch it, but you might not be able to there. We're going to go to series, data labels, 30. It's a little big. Let's do 24. And then we're going to do bold. For column 2, we're going to change this to be green because that's our interest. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. See how we're looking in comparison. Okay, I need to remember how to get this one right here. Legend position. Okay, legend. So if we go to our legend, this is where we can actually why is it just saying column 2 though? I want it to be a name. Here we go. Okay, that's investment. And then right here, we can just double click in here and it'll allow us to add the interest. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to change this color of investment. This field color is going to be our color that we've been using. And then, yeah, boom, just like that. Okay, cool. All right, that's looking nice. Right, it's looking more or less, if we kind of zoom out a bit, it's looking more or less like how this one is over here, just a different color. And I'll be honest, I think I prefer this blue color. I think it's just a lot more readable, but just to kind of show some differences of how you could do it. Green kind of gets the money flowing, but kind of see we have very similar right there. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is change this name to summary. And then I'm going to add a new sheet, which is going to be our monthly breakdown. Cool. Now with our monthly breakdown, as you all saw, I'm going to use a little cheat here just because I have it right here, but I'm going to go ahead and highlight the dates. We have our 10K challenge, savings challenge. Monthly breakdown. And then I'm going to go ahead and, oh wow, it pasted literally everything. That's kind of wild. I don't know if I wanted to paste like that. Might just have to write these out, y'all. No, I don't have to. One left. This is day. And then we're going to do 1. And then we're going to do A4. There's like a little hack to get the days. There we go. We're going to bring that all the way down till we get to 31 days, because that's usually the max amount of days in the month. Monthly breakdown. Okay, so can't name it the same thing as before. And then we're going to go ahead and just highlight all this and re-add the table. Format. Oh, it's converted to table already. See if there's a hack to be able to do this a bit better. Okay, I don't want to have to start all over, but I might have to. Yeah, looks like I might have to. Okay, so I'm going to delete these rows. I'm going to go ahead and put the D for day. So I'm just going to add all the months right here. Do February, March, April, May. I got 2 more I'm going to add, June and July. Okay, so now we have all those. I'm going to go ahead and add my 1, and I'm going to do my equals a 4 plus 1 formula that I did all the way to. So it looks like the best hack for the table is to make sure you put in all of the different table, like at least the rows and heights for the table that you want before you change the actual table structure. And if there's a better way to do this, guys, let me know in the chat, because there might be an easier way. This is just the way that seems to be working for me personally. So now that we have our table, and again, we can change this color. I think I have, is the color saved in here? 22A15A. So that's a hex code for colors. You can change it manually. Every color has a hex code. So that looks more or less just like the same color. I'm going to bold that 18 point font. I usually like to merge it all because it just looks a little cleaner. And then center it properly. And then put the text. So there we go with that. I'm going to remove this row right here. And then we're going to add some sum values. So equals the sum of all of these. Autofill. No, we don't want to autofill that. And we're going to move all these over. I don't believe I had. Okay, so I did write that in there. And now in order to connect the sheet to where I can have my breakdown right here, this is almost like a daily breakdown, have it auto-populate in here, I need to call in these cells into the sum of those cells into this cell here. And there's a little formula that I can do. I can, in quotation marks, call in the name of that sheet, which is monthly breakdown, and then put in the cell name that I want to capture. And I believe, is it B4? Might not be the right one. Let me make sure. B3, so close. So B3. And then if you see each additional cell that has the totals at the top, and we can kind of make this look a little better if we want. We can bold this, make this 12. I like to center everything. Change these to the colors, right? The same text colors we've been using, just to kind of add a little more spice. But let's say, for example, now that we have the cell connected, it says $0 for July 24th. I can go ahead and put in, my last 2 days, I put in $500 each. And I realize I need to add some formatting, right? The money formatting, currency formatting. And now you can see the $1,000 got populated right here. So that's connected. Now we got to do for line 3 for each column, or row 3 for each column. So I'm going to just kind of bring this down. Or what I can do, actually, if I do B number 3, that'll hold that number, but change. It'll hold the row, but I can change the column manually. So if I do B3 and then down. Okay, so I need to change it to C3, C, D, E, F, G. I have quite a few, y'all. H, I, J, K, L, M, and I believe N should be the last one. So we have N3, so that should be July 2025, and N3 is July 2025 right there, so that's good. So if we put in $1 for July 2025, we should get $1 here, and that is showing up. Okay, cool. Looks good. So we did $10,000, then we should get $10,000 there, and look, $10,000 shows up. So looks like the sheet is working as expected. All right, so there you go. This is our 10K savings challenge sheet. We have our monthly breakdown table. We have our progress to goal table. We have our monthly breakdown chart, and then our progress to goal chart, which shows both the investment and interest that we've earned. And then we have our monthly breakdown where we can manually add in, every time we make a deposit or a transfer into Wealthfront or whatever sort of high yield savings account you want to use. There's, Ally, there's SoFi, there's a number of them that are for your disposal. You can go ahead and put in that monthly amount that you've inputted into the respective day and month cell, and we can track our progress together. Thanks again, y'all. Bye.